In a quiet village nestled amidst dry, cracked plains, life had once been a peaceful balance of nature and hard work. The villagers were mostly farmers, relying on the rains to grow their crops and feed their families. But one year, the rains did not come. A terrible famine spread across the land, bringing hunger and sadness to the once happy village. The sun burned hot every day, drying up the earth until it split open like a broken pot. Rivers and streams vanished, leaving behind empty beds of dust. The trees stood bare, and the fields lay empty, with no crops to harvest. Hunger crept into every home, leaving people weak and hopeless. Among the struggling villagers was Obi, a loving husband and father of 3 children. Obi was a hard-working man who cared deeply for his family. He had always made sure his wife and children never went to bed hungry. But now, no matter how hard he tried, there was nothing left to give them. His wife, Amaka, did her best too. She searched the fields for wild roots and anything edible, but there was almost nothing to find. Their children, Ada, Chitty, and little Ngozi, grew thinner and weaker every day. Their bright smiles had faded, and Obi's heart broke every time he looked at them. One evening, as the sun set in the sky, painting it orange and red, Obi and Amaka sat outside their small hut. The children were inside, too weak to play or even cry. Amaka's eyes were filled with tears as she held her husband's hand. "What can we do, Obi?" she asked, her voice shaking. Obi looked far into the horizon, silent for a long time. Finally, he spoke, his voice heavy with sadness. "Amaka, I have been thinking. Our children must not die. You must not die. The family has to survive, no matter what it takes." Amaka stared at him, confused. "What do you mean?" He took a deep breath and held her hands tightly. "Amaka, I want you to take my life. Use my body to feed the children. It is the only way to save them." Amaka gasped, pulling her hands away. "Obi, what are you saying? How can you think such a thing?" "I am thinking of you and the children," he said firmly. "If we all die, what will be the point? But if I give my life, you and the children will live. That is what matters." Amaka shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "I cannot do it. I cannot." Obi placed his hands on her shoulders, his eyes full of love and pain. "You are strong, Amaka. Stronger than you know. Promise me you will do this for our children. Promise me you will survive." That night, under the cover of darkness, Obi hugged his wife and children for the last time. He whispered words of love and hope, holding them close as if trying to remember their warmth forever. When the moment came, Amaka did as he had asked, her heart breaking with every step. The children didn't know the truth. Amaka cooked meals for them, telling them their father had gone to another village to find food. Days turned into weeks, and the children grew stronger. Amaka carried the pain of her secret, hiding it behind her love for her family. One day, dark clouds gathered in the sky. Thunder rolled and lightning flashed. Rain poured down, soaking the dry land. The villagers danced in the rain, their hearts filled with joy as they saw life returning to the earth. Crops began to grow, and soon there was food again. But the famine had taken many lives. Of the families in the village, only 5 remained. It was later discovered that in each of these families, a father had sacrificed his life so his family could survive. The surviving villagers, now bound by shared loss and hope, worked together to rebuild their village. They planted seeds and nurtured the land, determined to never face such hunger again. Still, a question lingered in their hearts. Had the fathers made the right choice? Some said their sacrifice was an act of great love that gave their families a chance to live. Others wondered if the burden of such a loss was too much for the living to bear. Amaka never spoke about it, her heart filled with both sorrow and gratitude. Years later, the story of the famine and the fathers' sacrifices was told to children and grandchildren. It became a tale of love, strength, and the lengths one would go for family. And so the question remained, did those fathers make the right choice? Or was their sacrifice a pain too heavy for their loved ones to carry? Perhaps there was no clear answer, only the truth of their love and the legacy of their choices.